Leo Vance walked into the Portland Police Department on a Tuesday morning and confessed to 4 murders he didn't commit. He sat across from Detective Marcus Webb and described, in perfect detail, how he strangled Sarah Chen in her apartment on March 14th. He knew the smell of jasmine tea in the air. He knew her nails were painted mint green with tiny white daisies. He knew her last words. But we agreed. The problem was simple. Leo had never met Sarah Chen, and at the exact moment she died, he was across town, on camera, presenting at a conference. But Leo remembered killing her. Not like a dream, not like imagination. He remembered it the way you remember your childhood, with texture, with smell, with the weight of absolute certainty. Detective Webb went pale, because Leo knew things that were never released to the public, details only the killer, or the lead investigator, would know. 3 weeks earlier, Leo had been cataloging old city planning documents when the first memory hit him like a seizure. Suddenly, he was in a basement, wrapping wire around an elderly man's throat. He could smell medicinal cologne. He could see a water stain on the ceiling shaped like a bird. He heard the man's final whisper, "Please, my grandson." When Leo snapped back to reality, he vomited. The memory was more real than the room he stood in. Over the next 3 weeks, 3 more memories surfaced. A woman drowned in a bathtub. A jogger shoved from a bridge. Leo felt the impact through his palms. A home invasion turned fatal. He remembered the exact creak of the 3rd stair. Each memory matched an actual unsolved murder. And Leo had alibis for all of them. That's when they brought in Dr. Eris Thorne. Dr. Thorne was a forensic psychologist. She had spent 20 years proving that confessions were unreliable, that memories could be fabricated, that the human mind was easier to manipulate than people wanted to believe. Her own sister had been wrongfully convicted based on a false confession. She expected Leo to be delusional, or attention-seeking, or broken in a predictable way. Instead, she found a man desperate to be proven wrong. Leo didn't want to be the killer. He was terrified he was. He begged her to find the flaw in his memories. Dr. Thorne ran every test. False memory protocols, cognitive interviews, timeline analysis. Leo passed everything. His memories lacked the markers of confabulation. They were too detailed, too consistent, too accurate. Then she noticed something strange. In Leo's memory of the bridge murder, he described a coffee vendor with a red umbrella, Bridgetown Brew. The vendor had been interviewed by police but never mentioned in public reports. Leo also remembered the vendor's radio playing NPR, a discussion about budget cuts. That detail existed only in Detective Webb's private case notes. Leo wasn't remembering being at the crime scene. He was remembering investigative details. Details only someone with full access to the cases would know. Dr. Thorne's conclusion shattered everything she understood. Leo wasn't the killer, but somehow, impossibly, he had the memories of someone who studied these crimes with obsessive precision. Not the killer's memories, someone else's. The investigation turned inward. If memories were being implanted, there had to be a source. Dr. Thorne developed 3 theories. A corrupt detective covering his tracks, a dying serial killer seeking absolution, or something far more unthinkable. Then the 4th memory came. Leo called Dr. Thorne at 2 in the morning. His voice was shaking. "I saw myself killing you," he said. "Tomorrow night, your home office. I know your alarm code. I saw the whole thing." This memory was different. For the first time, the killer spoke aloud. "You got too close." Dr. Thorne didn't sleep. Instead, she traced Leo's past with surgical focus. His childhood, his family, and the death of his mother when he was 8 years old. That's when she found her. Dr. Eleanor Vance, Leo's maternal aunt, a neuroscientist, and the lead researcher on a classified DARPA project called NEAM, a program designed to overwrite traumatic memories. They found Eleanor in an isolated research facility outside Portland. Servers surrounded her, neural scanners, silent machines. At 68, she was frail. Her mind was unraveling from early onset Alzheimer's. But she was lucid enough to understand what she'd done. 26 years earlier, when Leo witnessed his mother's accidental death, Eleanor enrolled him in Project NEAM. She wanted to spare him the trauma. The experiment failed, but it left something behind: a neural pathway, a door that could receive memories from an external source. For over 2 decades, that door stayed closed, until Eleanor's diagnosis. Desperate to preserve herself, she reactivated the system. She tried to transfer her most important memories into Leo. Her research, her knowledge, her life's work. But the system was corrupted. Only memories encoded with extreme emotional intensity could pass through, and the memories burned deepest into Eleanor's failing mind were the unsolved murder cases she had obsessed over. She hadn't committed the crimes, but she had reconstructed them so precisely that they became indistinguishable from lived experience. When the transfer began, those reconstructions flooded Leo's mind. The fourth memory, killing Dr. Thorne, wasn't a plan. It was Eleanor's intrusive fear, a paranoid thought transmitted as prophecy. Eleanor looked at Leo, her eyes barely recognizing him. "I didn't want you to lose me," she whispered, "the way I lost your mother. I thought I could live on in you." "You made me remember being a monster," Leo said. "No," Eleanor replied. "I made you remember seeing monsters through my eyes." She offered him a choice. She could terminate the connection, erase the implanted memories. Leo could reclaim his untainted mind. But doing so would destroy the only evidence that could solve 4 murders. Those insights lived only in Leo now. Keep the horror and serve justice. Or erase it and let the cases die. Dr. Thorne found the answer inside the memories themselves. They contained details no killer would consciously notice. Bodies positioned for forensic recovery. Scenes cataloged instead of felt. These weren't killer memories. They were investigative reconstructions. And because Eleanor's analysis had been nearly perfect, the truth was embedded inside them. Using those flaws, Leo and Dr. Thorne identified the real killers. The cases were closed. Leo made his choice. He kept the memories, but he learned to label them: received, not lived; evidence, not identity. Eleanor died 6 months later, her mind entirely gone. Leo still works as an archivist, but now he consults on cold cases. Sometimes, late at night, he wonders which memories are truly his. But he's learned something Eleanor never did. Identity isn't about the purity of memory. It's about what you choose to do with it. His name is Leo Vance, and despite everything, he remembers who he is.